Open Your Eyes Country Tour is powered by Digi, our national telecom.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Tasha Manning, right?
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm April Martinez. Good morning, Belize. We are coming to you live from the beautiful villa at Playa de Coco here at beautiful Maya Beach, Placencia. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning, April.
How you feeling?
I am so excited. This is leg 2 of our country tour. And it's been really fun.
It's been fun.
I am so happy to say that we arrived here yesterday and we've been just really enjoying the hospitality that Placencia has to offer. As I said, this is leg 2. You were there with us when we started in Corozal District at the Santa Rita Archaeological Site. So this time around, of course, the views are a little bit different, but we did get to walk a bit around Placencia and experience some of the culture and vibrancy. We did walk along on the beach as well, and so we want to show you what that experience was like yesterday. Such a beautiful evening
It was a
yesterday
wonderful evening.
I have to say, you know, for a lot of people that watch that video, I think the first thing that stood out, or that might have stood out to you guys, is the difference in how me and April look. And we were talking about that yesterday. It's a pity you guys didn't get to hear our conversations, but essentially, April is a water baby, and she came dressed to enjoy the water.
Listen, Sabrina, they said we're going to the beach. So in my brain, we are going to go into the water.
And that's totally fine. That's
in my
completely
mind, I'm
warranted.
like, I need to dress for the occasion, for the vibe. And so, I mean, you guys saw it, and I think I was like, Sab, you're wearing a sweater.
Yeah, because I left home where it was raining cats and dogs.
But then you had on tennis.
And I came prepared to not wet my feet.
But we're at the beach.
So that's the thing. I think we really were able to see the difference in our personalities
Yes.
yesterday. I am not the water baby, and I think I told you guys this several times before. I cannot swim, and I'm just not really a beachy girl. I will hug a tree, though. I love inland areas.
But one of the things that I think, and yes, I wish you guys had heard our conversations, because while Sabrina and I were walking along the village, the greenery, even though this is a peninsula, even though it is, you know, beach and lagoon, there is just such a greenery around the area. There was almost like this parts that were like canopy-like, and you said it to yourself. You're like, see, this I could get used to.
Yeah, there were certain
right?
parts of our trek that I was like, okay, now this centers me. But I think overall the experience walking along yesterday, I kind of really got to take in the moment and, you know, really revel in that saying that we would always say here in Belize, I live where you vacation.
Yes,
We saw
absolutely.
people enjoying the water on a regular Sunday evening, and, you know, not many people can say that they get to do that on just a regular day.
And you can't really even tell the difference anymore here in Placencia, because you would just imagine that people have settled here from all walks of life. You know, tourists, foreigners, locals, everybody's just integrated. And so, hey, a lot of those people here were just people, this is a beach, we're hanging out today. It's a beautiful Sunday. The weather held up, which was also something that I was very, very happy about. And so it was just like a very calm, mellow, peaceful evening.
Yeah, and it still definitely feels like that right now. As we mentioned, we are at Villas at Playa de Coco, and we have to say that we are really excited about leg 2 of our country tour, because it is powered by Digi. This entire country tour is powered by Digi, and we have to give them huge kudos for coming along this journey with us as we go all over the country with you guys as well.
Indeed, Sabrina.
But April, we do have some wonderful conversations to look forward to this morning. Yeah, we are in a different part of the country, but we are still bringing you insightful conversations. So this morning we are going to start things off with a highlight of the Mundo Maya Exchange. That is a 3-session conference or forums that are set to take place, and we will be discussing that quite a bit this morning as well.
Yes, and of course, we have to take in what Placencia has to offer. So following the Mundo Maya Exchange overview, we are going to be talking to Sweet Talk Fantasy Bakery. And you know me, I love a good sweet treat, so I'm looking forward to that.
Now, I'm really excited about our third conversation that's set to take place, because I met the owners of Shady Acres a few months ago, and they are returning, but this time in morning show conversation. And so we are going to be learning from scraps to jewelry with Shady Acres.
And to wrap up our country tour here in Placencia, you don't really have Placencia without this particular product, and I'm so excited about this. I literally am like,
no, she really is, guys.
I'm getting this product.
You wanted to get this at the expo as well.
Yes, I did. We are going to be joined by the talented Julie Pollard, and she is, of course, the owner and founder of Ikuma Hair, that is made out of natural seaweed from right here in Placencia. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'm looking forward to getting me some Ikuma, because your girl needs it.
No, I know. She's a really, really big fan.
Yes.
And I said the expo, but really what I meant to say was the agriculture show.
Trade show, yes.
And we've met Jamie before. She's such a talent. And I think more than anything, it's the way that she's used her innovation in her products. I'm really excited about that as well, just to see if there's anything new taking place and to really see how her brand and her product has evolved as well.
But you know, Sabrina, the vibrancy and the progress that Plasencia has come from since the settlement of the Garinago to now, you have such a diverse amount of people. You know, it's now this vibrant tourist hotspot, but this entire peninsula is just filled with rich culture. We are not too far from St. Bite.
Yeah.
That is you know, a prominent Garifuna community still practicing their traditions, and then you continue to go along and you see all of this beautiful exchange. And so I'm very excited about the Mundo Maya conversation as well.
You know, even that, speaking of, you know, giving you guys a bit of history on the settlement itself of Plasencia, did you know that the name itself, Plasencia, is believed to have come from a Spanish word also called Plasencia?
Pleasant place. You know,
And it means
I
pleasant
would
place.
imagine if it's like an older Spanish, because I don't know that to be that meaning.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting
I think
fact.
though it's definitely true to the name itself.
Yes,
It's a pleasant
it is a
place.
pleasant
It's
place.
quite calm, and I know that in certain parts of the years we do see Plasencia getting a lot more busy. I know around the Easter time, many of locals and tourists alike, they travel here to experience the vibrancy of the culture, as April highlighted, how rich in diversity it is when you consider it's people that settle here.
Indeed,
But just the general vibe, it's very calm and relaxing and mellow. But we do got to take a quick break though. As we mentioned, we have loads of conversations to look forward to. When we come back after the break, we are going to jump straight into Mundo Maya Exchange overview. Don't go anywhere. Open Your Eyes returns in just one moment.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV, The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration And it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Caribs, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. This Open Your Eyes is our second leg of our country tour, and we want to say thank you to Digi because Open Your Eyes Country Tour is powered by Digi. We're moving into our first conversation, and as we mentioned, it's all about the Mundo Maya exchange. Here having this first leg of the conversation is Ana Beatriz Gonzalez. She is the Secretary General of Mundo Maya. Also with us is Josue Carballo. He's the Chief Tourism Officer representing the Ministry of Tourism and the Belize Tourism Board.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for
Buenos
joining
días.
us.
Bienvenidas. Muchas gracias.
Good
Buenos días.
morning, ladies. It's quite a nice scenery to be at. And
Yeah.
It's a bright morning.
Yes.
Quite a change from what you guys would normally come to enjoy. We want to start the conversation with what is set to take place today. I understand that this is what we consider a part of history when we think of the sessions and the forums that are about to take place here in Placencia Village.
Yes.
This is the Mundo Maya Exchange. Belize has the presidency of Mundo Maya currently, and the formulation and the activity that's set to take place is a part of our role in how we have continued our presidency for the year. Let's begin there, Josue.
Yes, well, like you mentioned, it's a very historic week. We are actually hosting 3 different events, but with a common theme of regional integration. As in terms of our product in Belize tourism, we know there is a need to diversify. And we are proud to be a part of a region that works together in the aspect of, we're looking both the Central American region, and in particular right now, we'll be focusing on the Mundo Maya organization, which in itself began in the 90s. And now we're gonna have the 81st reunion of the Mundo Maya organization, focus on marketing and being able to create the right product mix coming from the southern states in Mexico. There are actually 5 big states that belong to the Mundo Maya organization, and then our countries in Central America, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. And this poses a huge area of opportunities to create new products, to create a corridor, a cultural corridor throughout our region, but it also opens our doors to a huge source market.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the UN Tourism Barometer for May, you realize that one of the leading trends right now for people is that they want to travel where they have never been before. And curiously so, we in our region, we have not inter-traveled as much as we should.
Yeah.
So a lot of these initiatives are made so that we can create product development, to create the right marketing pitch, and for everyone to know, that we're close by, we're here.
Yeah.
You said that the Mundo Maya organization was established in the 90s. For persons who still might not be familiar with the organization itself, perhaps we should set the tone of the conversation there,
Yes.
establishing what the Mundo Maya organization is and how it has evolved since then.
Yes. Well, the Mundo Maya organization began in an effort to be able to put a common theme to where the Maya civilization actually flourished throughout the decades that passed us. So you're talking about the states of Campeche, Chiapas, Quintana Roo, Tabasco, and Yucatan, which are the southern states of Mexico, which have evidence of not only past but present Mayan culture. They integrated together with Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. So these are all countries that have had the presence and still continue to have the presence of the Mayan people up to today.
Quiero traer, mi señora Ana, en esta entrevista, ¿Cómo es este Mundo Maya Forum para ustedes en Guatemala? Con nosotros aquí en Belice tenemos una buena relación. ¿Cómo este forum va a estrenar esta relación con Belice y Guatemala?
I'll ask if you could translate for us, Josue.
I just asked her how she believes that this Mundo Maya Exchange Forum will strengthen our relationship between Belize and Guatemala.
Okay.
Muchas gracias, buenos días, gracias por estar acá. Antes que nada, pues agradecer la oportunidad y decir que la organización Mundo Maya se forma con los 5 países y los 5 estados del sur de México, como bien ha explicado nuestro compañero. Y realmente para la organización es sumamente importante este foro y la integración, porque obviamente estrechamos los lazos de colaboración que existen entre los países, entre Belice y Guatemala. La cercanía, la proximidad de nuestras fronteras hace que podamos intercambiar ese turismo y esos valores culturales, todo el patrimonio que poseemos entre los países, pero además una relación integradora entre toda la región, esta área geográfica de la civilización maya que es tan importante, una herencia no solamente cultural, sino también todo el patrimonio natural que existe y que podemos poner a disposición de los turistas, siempre tratando de conservar y preservar ese valor histórico.
Yeah, I'm glad what our guest mentioned today is that we are here to celebrate, you know, the Mayan civilization, but not only their culture, but also the natural beauty that surrounds it. No? That's a common theme with everyone. You know, the tropical rainforest where our Mayan people lived. So with this relationship in particular between Guatemala and Belize, we're neighbors. It's very close to visit each other, and we share common values.
One of the curiosities that I have about this exchange program, and Sabrina and I were having a conversation earlier about it, is that we are in close proximity with all of these different countries. They're all neighbors. We're all neighbors. Somos vecinos, no? But we still have a transportation issue per se. We can't easily travel from point A to point B in certain parts of Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize. There is no commonality in terms of a route, right, that connects us all. Would this particular exchange touch something like that?
Absolutely. Well, Mexico already started its part with the Tren Maya,
Yes.
you know, connecting their southern states with that transportation system. But more so going now Belize and regional, you know, with other partners, we some things have begun. Like for example, we don't know the advent or the growth of the ferry, you know, that comes from the Mexican side to San Pedro. That has really helped us a lot in that growth. But more so as it comes to air connectivity, it is a challenge, we know. We just had a conversation this past week with the World Bank representatives. They have done a previous study as it comes to interconnectivity within the Mundo Maya region, but also in terms of the rest of Central America, with Sitkan and so forth. So there are some common themes, you know, the need for governments to support it, to create incentives for the airlines, to guarantee some level of seats. But we do have more regional airlines that are interested. I know Guatemala has done a lot in terms of their connectivity between Guatemala City and Flores, for example. And that tag connection as well has helped us between Belize and Guatemala. And it continues to be a challenge, but it is something that actually is one of the top 3 priorities right now of our region.
So air connectivity.
Air connectivity. We also are looking at the community-based tourism, similar to what we're doing in Mundo Maya in general. And the third one is training, customer service, no? Excellence in customer service.
I would wonder, given the proximity of some of these different countries and the vegetation, the landscape, everything is so unique to each country. A part of this exchange is a cultural one.
Yes.
Even though it is Mundo Maya and we do have different Maya communities that live, there are different Maya groups. How are you integrating these different indigenous entities within this exchange?
No sé si quieres contestar.
Sí, gracias. Realmente ahora estamos tratando de promover bastante el segmento de turismo comunitario, que precisamente da más valor a todas estas áreas rurales y que tienen tanta riqueza cultural, todo el patrimonio, no solamente arqueológico, sino además la cultura maya viva, las tradiciones, las costumbres, toda esa riqueza que pueden ofrecer, mostrar al mundo y sobre todo atraer turismo para preservar esa cultura, un turismo respetuoso y sustentable que valore esa riqueza que poseemos y que podemos poner a disposición, ¿verdad? Y que nosotros mismos, como integrantes de esta cultura, que somos descendientes de los mayas, podemos dar más ese valor que se requiere.
From we were mentioning here, from Copan right up to Chichen Itza and everything in between, there is definitely a diversity in languages, but that adds to the richness. And when you look at the Mayan people, so what made the Mayan? What are the common things that join us? Well, one, we mentioned the respect for nature, so the respect and inclusion of nature. I was talking about the 4 cardinal points and respecting that. Astronomy was something, they were great astronomers. They're very advanced people when it comes to their calendar. But also something important is food, right?
Yes.
The corn is always the staple food. And so that's why the richness adds to it, because when you go to a corridor, you don't want to see the same thing, even though it's the same Mayan civilization, but Mexico has a different view than Belize, than Guatemala.
Even the way that
Honduras.
it's presented to the tourists.
Yes. That adds to the richness of it.
One of the key things that I just wanted to mention that Ms. Anna pointed out is that it's not just connecting to the archaeological tourism, but also connecting to the living heritage that the different Maya cultures have to offer. And us, and I love that you said that us as descendants of this place, we have to be able to be custodians as well, even if we are not direct descendants of Maya heritage. We live in this community that should be able to help safeguard that heritage. So thank you so much.
That's beautiful.
For saying that. Yes.
Josue, I have to ask what the year has been like for Belize having pro tempore of Mundo Maya. I believe I heard in a previous conversation where you had representatives speaking on it that there was like a strategic document that was put together. Speak to that and the importance of having the continuation of the works taking place from previous presidents and now even us having that presidency.
Yes, well, tomorrow we're going to be reviewing as a committee the strategic plan. It definitely involves much more connectivity with social media, with getting the brand out there. The brand is important. So we updated the logo. We have different things when it comes to marketing the region, and connectivity is something that we're also going to be working on. But the importance, or the way we have taken the presidency, is that we want to be very proactive.
Okay.
We are reaching out to a lot of the private sector. The second you mentioned about transportation, we need to connect the tour operators, we need to connect people that can create packages, right? And so most people know, they like to do their itineraries through AI.
Yes.
So everyone now goes in.
Very true.
They review the comments, they do a lot of things. So yes, we are a very traditional group because we're talking about our Mayan heritage, but we're also very progressive as it comes to understanding the new trends.
How involved are the private sector in the forums that will be taking place today? We're speaking about the importance of having them involved, but are they seated at the table?
¿Qué tal dices que está el sector privado involucrado en todo?
Realmente desde la organización Mundo Maya manteníamos una relación con el sector privado, incluido dentro de nuestras mesas de trabajo. Dejaron de participar por un tiempo, pero actualmente estamos retomando esas actividades. Entonces, este foro específicamente, y agradecemos mucho a la Asociación de la Industria Turística de Belice porque ha organizado este foro con empresarios del sector privado, que vuelve a traer a la mesa a todos los empresarios representados por medio de las cámaras de turismo. Y eso es sumamente valioso para nosotros como organización y continuar estas alianzas estratégicas con ellos para elaborar juntos, porque no podemos trabajar por separado. Si nosotros trabajamos solo como organización impulsando a la región, pero no tenemos los servicios, la oferta, no podríamos avanzar. Y si ellos avanzan solos sin tener como unos ciertos lineamientos o políticas que les ayuden a mejorar, por ejemplo, los trámites fronterizos, esas actividades que son como un poco más políticas y en las que nosotros podemos intervenir, entonces sería un poquito más difícil. Pero podemos trabajar de la mano, hacerlo muy bien y continuar esta labor que por medio de estos foros tan importantes podemos seguir impulsando.
So it really is a collaboration,
Yes.
political will and having the strength
Exactly.
of private organizations.
Political will and being able to make more agile the crossings within the borders as well, because among the one of the big target markets, you know, the Americans are also the huge market, but the Europeans that are now finding this product and like this product, they are used to like basically traveling without borders, right?
Yeah.
So
They
we have
backpack everywhere.
So we have to find a way to work that, and then BTIA president will be talking a little bit more about Fedecatur and how,
Yes,
how that is engaged. And I just want to mention also when the Kata group comes in, they will, I call it Fedecatur like the BTIAs of our region, right? And,
Okay.
And Kata like the BTBs of the region. So we all work together, but they also have a very nice program I know called a hackathon, in which they're actually training our tour operators. Belizeans are involved and others within the region to be able to get the proper skills to create the multi-destination packages. So people ask, so how do I start? Or where do I start? Who do I connect with? So we're here for that as organizations, as government-driven entities in Mundo Maya. We build the road, and then afterwards we ask the private sector to come in and to open the avenues together.
What's the significance of having the forums here in Plasencia? When we think of Mundo Maya and the preservation of the Mayan heritage, we could have gone close to a Maya temple, we could have gone at an archaeological site.
Yes. Like we mentioned, right, Philip, tal vez puedes decir por qué Plasencia. Claro.
Porque pienso que también tenemos una gran riqueza, no solamente arqueológica. Obviamente el mundo maya se enfoca mucho en el patrimonio que heredaron los mayas, pero además hay una gran riqueza en todos los segmentos turísticos, en todos los países. Tenemos grandes segmentos de playa, deportes extremos, naturaleza, gastronomía. Entonces, tenemos todo un abanico que podemos mostrar y por eso también elegir otros destinos es algo importante para poder posicionarnos y decir al mundo, no solamente somos arqueología, sí es lo importante, pero también podemos mostrar una gran variedad.
I must say that's right on point. Adventure tourism is also something big in the eyes of everyone. So this is what this showcases, the variety of landscape, adventure tourism, and also our ancestors, the Mayans, were traders. So they used to use a lot the sea as well to trade. So all of this is part of who the Mayans were, what the Mayans left us, and beyond the buildings, the physical artifacts, which are impressive throughout our region, we also have this variety in nature, beaches, and like we mentioned, adventure tourism.
Ayer cuando estábamos caminando ahí por la playa vimos tantas cosas para vender, ¿no? Lo que estaban vendiendo es cosas de las cultura del mayas. Ahí hay la gente que venden sus productos ahí que son de los pueblos que son cerca de aquí, y eso es uno de los las cosas que yo creo que la gente no ven o no saben, que si ellos no venden sus productos, ellos no van a poder comer o algo así, ¿no? Y para tener que hacer esas cosas aquí en esta parte de la comunidad, para venir de este pueblo lejos aquí para poder vender, tenemos que participar en un cambio que no tienen que hacer esto. Nosotros podemos ir allá en estos pueblos también, ¿no?
Exactamente, sí, creo que podemos ir y podemos promover esa cultura, esas costumbres, porque además los artesanos son precisamente una parte muy importante de la cadena de valor, de la comercialización. Y obviamente ellos viven de eso y nosotros tenemos que apoyar ese desarrollo, porque es el desarrollo del área rural, a quienes nos debemos y a quienes debemos contribuir. Y además es una riqueza que los turistas se llevan, siempre teniendo el cuidado de preservar las especies, porque tenemos que cuidar mucho de las especies marinas, de la flora, de la fauna, protegerlas, ¿verdad? Pero se pueden hacer artesanías de mucha manera. Y como tú dices, las personas que vienen de lejos a vender sus productos es un medio de vida. Entonces tenemos que valorar esa riqueza que existe.
What I was saying is that when we were walking down the village yesterday, we saw a lot of the artisans and so forth that are selling their product. And a lot of those products are from Maya heritage, Maya communities. And a lot of these persons come from the villages nearby, but kind of have to take a trip to come to Placencia to sell those products because perhaps the tourists might not even realize that the community exists. So I'm asking, how can we strengthen that exchange so that perhaps we continue to strengthen the community tourism that they're trying to promote?
The essence of that, and I like that you bring it across, that we must support these local artisans. No? If you see them, buy something, take a little gift at home, a little souvenir. But what's important, that's another thing that joins our region together, is that we have a heavy concentration of MSMEs. No? And so right now through our tourism grants, right now through the Ministry and BTV, and through what this government has been doing with Beltrade, the focus or the shift towards the support for MSMEs is important for us, and it's also happening in our region, in Central America, in Mexico. So that's another thing that joins us. You know, yes, in totality in our region, we have millions of people, but the small, family-owned, and single artisans or artisan groups are important. And so that's why the third pillar of our region for growth, apart from cultural tourism and apart from the aspect of connectivity, is training. To be able to teach the communities on the ground what it is to sustain a business, what it is to be more formal, but it is important throughout our region.
Well, I think the center of what you spoke of there, Josue, is also the integration.
Yes.
And I think that will be the center of our next conversation after the break. When we come back, we will be highlighting, of course, still the Mundo Maya Exchange, but this time the Feracator presidency. Don't go anywhere. Open Your Eyes returns in just a few minutes.
Whether you're enjoying the outdoors,
Finally here at the Fort George Hotel and Spa. This is nice.
or stuck in the office.
How can I help you today?
When it comes to finding the perfect frames and lens for your eyes, what you do makes all the difference. Elevate your eye vision. Choose eyewear that reflects your lifestyle. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Whys of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family,
as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, same iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are being joined by our wonderful guests. We're continuing the conversation on the Mundo Maya Exchange and the Mundo Maya Exchange Forum here at Placencia. Joining us here is Efren Perez, and he is the pro tempore president of Fedecatur and the president of the Belize Tourism Industry Association.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, ladies.
And he is joined by the president of the Cámara de Turismo de Guatemala, Rolando Schweizer Rosoto. Buenos días y mucho gusto.
Buenos días, gentlemen.
Buenos días.
All right. We are following up the conversation of the Mundo Maya, and we really want to get into the topics of discussion. It's a three-teamed forum, 3 days, if you will.
Yeah.
I really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. From our previous conversation, we understand that we have private sector coming in, we have persons of government, we have different representatives from all across Mundo Maya, that being of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador, and of course here in Belize.
Yeah.
We touched a little bit on what we can expect in terms of content with our previous conversation, but I really want to dive into the importance of this forum and what kind of impact you're hoping to achieve.
Well, you know, those are really great questions in terms of the event itself. One of the things that we're really focusing on right here is really to tie that relationship between public and private sector. I think that is one of the key things that we're looking at. More so, I think it's giving our private sector, and the private sector, I mean all those that are coming in from all the other countries from around the Mundo Maya, that opportunity to network on a one-on-one. The idea behind this is for us to be able to, at the end of the day, have multi-destination packages where people will be able to travel from one point to the next, but more so to highlight the beauty of what we have within our entire region. Mundo Maya, as you know, is comprised of all 5 countries, including Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Mexico. And we have a delegation coming from each one of these countries. So during the course of the morning today, what we will be focusing on is 3 key forums. And those forums are very important because we want the private sector to understand the role that Mundo Maya plays and how they would be able to integrate themselves within that entire picture, and really trying to build on newer markets that we have. As you know, Belize's key markets are the US and the Canadian market.
Yes.
And given the entire volatility of what's happening right now around the world, I think it is a very opportune time for us to be able to diversify into new markets, extending ourselves within our partners regionally, and seeing how we would be able to develop our product and add a value added to travelers coming in. Instead of coming just to Belize, they can combine their trips to Guatemala, or they can combine their trips to Mexico. And the opportunity that lies there is just generally the infrastructure in these places, right? If we're looking at, for example, southern Quintana Roo, their infrastructure in hotels, their flights coming in from Europe. Guatemala also has flights coming in from Europe, and also does the other countries. And so that facilitates us for our private sector not to be able to make that direct investment on their own, but really rely on who's already established within these markets.
I think one of the things that are important for us to highlight here, Efren, is the statistics behind this in the first place. It was just about a month or so ago that the Boom Forum was held, and what was highlighted was the shift in arrivals, where you highlighted very much so that our tourist population that would primarily come would be from the United States and then Europe. But we're seeing a shift as well where people are deciding to come from Central America, from Latin America. And so this is very important for us to have an event like this to ensure that there's that collaboration taking place.
Absolutely.
The next thing that I want to highlight is the difference in the forums that we are going to be seeing as well. We just spoke about a moment ago the Mundo Maya organization in its entirety, but speak to FEDECATUR. You are the president of the FEDECATUR. What is the difference between those two organizations and what we can expect forum-wise?
Mundo Maya is a combination of both public and private sector, and right now private sector is getting much more involved within the whole discussion. For FEDECATUR now, FEDECATUR is a brand that is under the Central American brand, and it includes the Central American countries and the Dominican Republic. What we are focusing on FEDECATUR is really looking at the best interests of our private sector, right? Platforms like these and bringing that private sector into the conversation on the table and saying, we have issues at the border, that we need to address. Because we sit in the regional Central American Travel Agency and also part of SITCA as the country leads, I believe that it puts us in a very good position for us to table these things to government authorities that can actually make a difference. Because private sector, although they are the generator of the incomes within the tourism industry, we need the support of government, and that places us in a really good position to have that dialogue in these key committees like Mundo Maya, like Central America, and FEDECATUR is comprised of the presidents of the chambers of tourism of all Central America and the Dominican Republic. So issues that might be affecting, for example, Guatemalan tourism might not necessarily be affecting Belize tourism, but we can come to the table and we can be able to digest all of this information and come up with strategic plans that will allow us to really build a brand that is stronger under Central America and also under the Mundo Maya.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Rolando into the conversation. Español, English, Español. Okay, can you translate? Great. Los foros que vamos a tener hoy, quisiera saber yo, porque ahorita en Belice yo sé que tenemos esta relación que los operadores de turismo de Guatemala vienen aquí, a veces tenemos el cambio de turistas, que vienen de las islas y después van a Tikal o a otras partes de Flores en Guatemala y así. Pero no sé si nosotros de Belice tenemos ese cambio también, que tenemos nuestros buses que van ahí en Guatemala y también podemos atraer turistas aquí. ¿Cómo podemos estrenar esta relación?
Pues primero que todo, muy buenos días.
Gracias.
Plasencia, muy lindo. Felicitar a Efren por esa presidencia tanto de Belice como de FEDECATUR. Pues para eso estamos aquí, para darle más fuerza al evento Mundo Maya. Y como tú dices, es bien importante hacer las estrategias. Se oye tan fácil, pero a la vez es tan complicado. de poder pasar fácil en fronteras tanto aéreas como terrestres, que eso sería o como acuáticas, por ejemplo, de hacer un ferry de Punta Gorda hacia Plasencia, y vendría mucho turista guatemalteco, hablando de guatemalteco. Entonces ahí los operadores, que vienen muy buenos operadores de Guatemala, que traen muchos grupos y que venden el multidestino y que terminan en Belice. Entonces lo importante es tener esa conectividad aérea, acuática, terrestre, que sea mucho más fácil.
Well, I asked him because I said that right now we definitely see an influx of this tourism exchange when it comes to transportation wise. Yeah. We know that the Guatemalan tour operators, they come here. We have a good exchange of tourism that passes from Belize to Guatemala, but we seldomly see that exchange of tourism that passes from Guatemala to Belize. Yeah. So my question was, how can we strengthen that relationship?
Yeah.
And he said?
Yeah, and absolutely, like Rolando mentioned, I mean, I think that it is important for us to continue with that key collaboration. Like you said, I mean, that the tourists are there already. They're already arriving in Guatemala. And so this opportunity that we have right now is really trying to see how best we'll be able to tie that relationship between operators from there and here. We have had issues in the past with regards to border issues when it comes to operators coming in. At some point, there was a whole standoff in terms of not allowing the operators to come in, and that I think that beyond that we have to start to look at how we would be able to strengthen those relationships, putting those operators into that conversation together to see what can be arranged for that flow of traffic to come in, but more so looking directly at what's occurring at the borders. I think that many times our key problem for tourists coming in stems at the border itself, and policies that are in place that are not as effective as what we would want for our travelers to pass through borders. And I think that's a conversation that we definitely need to have.
En el foro que vamos a tener hoy, yo creo que pues las diferencias en idiomas va a ser una cosa complicada, ¿no? ¿Cómo podemos estrenar eso también? Porque eso es la cosa aquí en Belice, que inglés es el idioma primero aquí. Y sí, la gente puede hablar español, como aquí es español un poquito quebrado, ¿no? Pero ¿cómo podemos poner esa relación que el idioma no va a ser un problema? I asked about the language barrier.
Mira, el guatemalteco, hablando de Guatemala, perdón, le gusta mucho viajar. Y por eso es que es bien importante hacer esa conexión acuática entre la parte de Livingston, Puerto Barrios, hacia aquí, porque es muy directo. Serán una hora, si mucho, 1 hora 40 minutos, 2 horas. Y al guatemalteco le gustan mucho las playas. ¿Por qué no venir a Plasencia en lugar de ir a otros destinos? Y muchas personas aquí en Plasencia o en Belice hablan español. Entonces romper esos paradigmas creo que es lo más sencillo. Con una sonrisa el servicio es muy bueno. Entonces creo que es abrirnos y crear nuevos paquetes turísticos. Y como te digo, el día de hoy para nosotros como presidentes de cámaras es bien importante porque es fortalecer el mundo maya. Es un sello que tenemos que lo deberíamos de vender al mundo y debería ser bien nuestro, de ponerlo en cada una de nuestras tarjetitas, Entonces de eso se trata, de unir y por eso le decía, perdón que lo repita, estamos apoyando a Efrem, que está ahorita presidente de FEDECATUR, y para eso estamos aquí.
So no es tan complicado.
No.
So what he mentioned is that, one of the key things that we had spoken about is that shuttle that can come from Puerto Barrios, Livingston to Punta Gorda. That allows the Guatemalans to come in more into the country and be able to come to destinations like Plasencia. But when it comes to the language barrier, like he mentioned, I think that the majority of our people that work within the tourism industry are bilingual at this stage, right? And so that does not create any barriers in terms of a Guatemalan tourist coming in or a tourist from El Salvador. And you would also find that some of these tourists coming in from there also speak English, right? And so for us to categorize the regional tourism as only Spanish speaking, I think it's a little bit of a flaw on our part, but I think that we should be able to embrace it. We do have people within our industry working today that are bilingual and are speaking Spanish, so that gives us a huge opportunity, a huge window for us to be able to really welcome these travelers coming in.
Going back to the point that you highlighted earlier, Efren, some of the challenges and barriers that we experience when it comes to border control. Are we seeing then some stakeholders being involved in the meetings that could potentially aid in that on both sides? For example, immigration. Are we seeing other departments attend today's session or the 3-day session that could alleviate some of those barriers?
Well, in the sessions that we're having, in the last forum that we'll have today, which really focuses on regional connectivity and border challenges, we do have a member of the immigration department that's going to be in that discussion. We also have representatives from SICA also that deals specifically with immigration. And we also have representatives from Tropic Air and also from TAG Airlines that will be talking about the challenges in connectivity. Because I think bringing those things to the table are very important at this juncture, and especially having the the public sector authorities present, it really brings us to that ability to challenge them, to start to make a difference, for them to be able to make the working environment of tourism within the entire region much more flexible for us to be able to see that flow of traffic. There are models in Europe that allow tourists to be able to pass through borders flawlessly. Obviously, they still have the requirements that they need to keep. It's not opening the borders completely. But I think those are things that we have to start to challenge our governments in order for them to be able to look at the free flow of traffic within borders and stop having so many requirements and so many red tapes for a traveler to come into the border, right?
Viewers tuning in might recognize the importance and the validity of having these sessions, but they may also want to know what will be the immediate and also long-term following steps. So after we conclude these 3 sessions, are we going to be seeing tangible steps take place immediately after for the short term and long term? What can we expect?
I think that following this particular event, we've spoken through the Fericatur Chamber also to the presidents. We definitely need to make a point, and we definitely need to take whatever comes out or stems out of this particular conversation here to the regional committees. This week we have, right following the exchange today, tomorrow we have the technical committees of Mundo Maya, and then we have the regional CATA meetings for Central America. And I think at those positions, we as private sector will bring up some of these points that need to start to be looked at. Individually, within the different countries, we in Belize, we have a really good working relationship with the Ministry of Tourism and also with BTB. And we will be sitting down with them after the event to see how best we'll be able to look at all of these challenges that we're facing. It cannot be a situation whereby private sector is making this impulse towards integration for us to be making all these platforms available for hoteliers, for them to welcome a diverse market, and then we have that blockage at the borders. We have that connectivity issue that doesn't allow it. I think that conversation, if private sector is moving it, we should be able to demand our government to be able to make these changes to facilitate the free flow of traffic into our country.
I think that for me, my final question would be more in the way that we are integrating the smaller communities, MSMEs and so forth, because it's a trickle-down effect, right? Right now we are looking at the big guys, the big guns, the politicians, the private sector, the tour operators and so forth. But at the end of the day, the boots on the ground will know what is happening and how this actually flows. So how are you all able to continue to have that dialogue and monitor what keeps happening right within that particular community or within those different smaller
because
groups?
like for example, all the chapters, all the regional tourism private sector entities, they have chapters are across all the countries, right? Like in Belize, we have 10 chapters. Guatemala also has their chapters spread across, and within each chapter, they have a delegation of people that run that chapter. So we know from that feedback within those communities what the tourism is looking like and what those challenges are. And so when we look at it and they bring it to the national forefront, then we can also sit down regionally and look at what has been happening, what has transpired after an event like this, and where we would be able to look at issues in Guatemala, for example, or issues in El Salvador, or even in Mexico, in terms of where we would be able to collaborate as private sector, but more so bring in the public sector for the discussion, so that we can have some sort of positive outcome out of the entire exercise.
Can you give us final for our viewers? You said today we're going to be having 3 forums. Tomorrow is also going to be activities, and then the last day, Wednesday, is going to be the wrap-up. Are we going to take our delegates across the country? How are we going to continue our hospitality?
We have a total of private sector individuals in country right now of roughly around 70. That's including the Belize properties that have come in. And so each country, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, and Honduras, are going on separate itineraries to visit the country. So today, after the event, we have a welcome cocktail where everybody will be able to do that final networking. And then tomorrow morning, we have groups going to Key Cocker, to San Pedro, to San Ignacio, to Toledo, to Hopkins. And the idea is for them to now see the actual tourism product, right? To make that networking with those people within those communities. For us to have exactly what you said, that trickle-down effect of tourism within the entire country.
Esta visita va a provocar a corto tiempo la derrama para Belice tanto de guatemaltecos como hondureños, como salvadoreños, porque hay que aprovechar ahorita mayo y junio, que es bajo en esta zona, pues traer a los grupos que hacen turismo interno en su país, también darles la opción de que está Belice para las playas con buenos paquetes. Entonces creo que, como te digo, es a corto plazo, y aquí lo importante es que hay buena relación entre los ministerios de turismo y las cámaras, que es lo principal. La unión público-privada es lo que a final de cuentas da los buenos resultados, ¿no?
So what he mentioned was that this particular event is going to be crucial for Belize because it will immediately in the short term provide us with returns of tourists coming in from the countries that are participating, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and even Mexico. And that is important because with that now we'd be able to see the flow of tourism and the effects of what we're creating here within these forums, right? And more so, as he mentioned, all of the different private sector chambers of tourism have a really great working relationship with their ministries, individual ministries of tourism. So that allows for that conversation to be escalated to that level. So we're very, very optimistic in terms of, seeing changes. I'm sure it's not going to be overnight, but we will have gradual changes, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, gentlemen, and we continue to follow, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you so much.
We take another quick break, but don't go anywhere because the conversation on the Munda Maya exchange continues. When we come back, though, we will be speaking about kata.
You pay the bill?
Ma, I got the wallet.
So you could pay the bill now?
Yeah, make us sure.
Ah.
See? Easy.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st. The comeback begins! KTV, The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. This is, as we mentioned, our second leg of our country tour, and we are here at playas,
villas at Playa de Coco.
And of course, this leg of the country tour is powered by Digi. We are continuing the conversation, however, though, on the Mundo Maya exchange, but this final portion of the conversation will speak to Kata. We are joined again by Josue Carballo, but we are also joined by Boris Iraheta. He is the Secretary General of Kata. Gentlemen,
good morning. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you all very much.
Josue, before you left, in our first conversation, you alluded to the fact that Kata kind of represents the BTB, while Fedecatur was like the BTIA.
Analogous, definitely. We can see it in that aspect because we have different functions as it comes to the growth of tourism. No? The private sector driven part, which is happening today. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the organization of Mundo Maya, which you're also the president of at this moment. And now on Wednesday, we're going to switch gears a bit to talk about promoting, the part of promotion, the arms that promote tourism in our region. And that's why the Central American Tourism Agency does that. Belize, we also took over the presidency right now in July. We're going to have, it's every 6 months it rotates within the different member countries. And so it is just right to be able to put all of these agencies together so we can further create that networking. And so Boris is here as well to explain to us more how Kata works and what are the benefits and the growth that Kata has pushed for us.
Let's get you in the conversation then, Boris, and speak directly to that. What does Kata represent and how have we seen it grow?
Okay, Kata represents to 7 countries of Central America. What Kata does is to promote Central America as a one tourist destination, one single tourist destination. Without thinking and promote the country by separately, but in one only region. So in that way, we represent, of course, in that region we have Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Panama, Nicaragua, and Dominican Republic also. Dominican Republic as a part of Central America. And we try to position in the region in our main market, the market that our board are designed to as strategic markets, and to create networkings like this one in the Mayan and the Mundo Maya event. We try to put together DMCs or tour operators of those markets with our DMCs in order to create connections and create business. So as you see, we work in 2 ways: promoting the region, but also creating that kind of space for commerce and trade.
Yeah, I think that one of the beautiful things about this forum that I hope everybody takes away from is that we're so interconnected that we didn't realize how much, right? And I think one of the pet peeves that I have about tourism, particularly in the Mundo Maya area, is that there is this misconception that you've seen one Maya temple, you've seen it all, right? And as an archaeologist, I definitely beg to differ. But in terms of what the products should be coming out of the Central America Tourism Agency, how are you planning to market us as a community unit, but also as individual spaces?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because, first of all, we have to look to those markets that as a part of our main market. What I mean is, for most of our countries, the main market is U.S. For example, between 40-30, some countries have 30, and 80% on others. The main market is U.S. And that way we try to look to and make efforts to another markets for increase the markets. So after that we create a portfolio of products. So we saw the region, and for example we saw the Caribbean coast. We have the Pacific coast also, nature, ecotourism, and the Mayan world as one of the main products, of course. So in that portfolio, we try to set each country, to try to fit each country in that portfolio. For example, we have tour operators in Europe, in Germany. They're very, very interested in diving. So they're coming to South of Mexico with Discover or Condor Airlines, and go and make that in the South of Mexico. But after they're coming to Belize, and we try to connect Belize with Honduras, for example, in that kind of product.
So you try to find the commonality.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of think of it as an opportunity to country hop when you think of Central America. You know, when they say bear hopping, you go country hopping in Central America.
I like
but
that.
I want to bring back Josue in the conversation, because I think what is key for us to recognize in the Mundo Maya exchange is that Belize has presidency of all three of these.
Yes.
We're at a point where we have been positioned as the leader this year. Perhaps Kata for a shorter term, but still there's an opportunity for us to make real change, not only for Central America, but for ourselves.
Yes.
How has the presidency benefited Belize this time around?
Well, right now it is important to create an awareness, no? An awareness, a recognition to our tour operators in Belize of the importance of the market. We're talking about just the internal market of Kata is almost 50 million people, and just that the internal market. And then what Kata does for us as a country is that it creates a platform for us to market, which otherwise we might not have been able to do it on our own.
Right.
The economies of scale, they expand the fairs that we can go to. So at places where, for example, BTB cannot go, Kata will be there representing the region. So we do market ourselves as a country, but also Kata helps us to reach other places that otherwise we would not have been there. No?
Very true.
And particularly, like we mentioned, the Europeans having this no frontiers type of mentality. They also do some marketing in some parts of Asia. So it's about basically looking at ways in which we can create regions and be able to market Belize as a region. And we were talking about this. We had a meeting last week, saying, so what makes us Central American? You know, what is the brand? What is the feel to be Central American?
That's a very good question.
And one of the things that we came up with, and hopefully something we can develop in the near future, is that we're all festive people. We like our music. We like dancing. We like the La Fiesta, La Fiesta, right?
Yeah.
And so we were discussing right now, for example, similar things to what we did at the BTB with the Belize International Music Food Fest. Maybe we can do a Central American Fest.
Yeah.
You know, do events that can also bond us together. Yeah. And so these are things that we're in discussion with, and so we want the entire region to go, and definitely Belize to be poised as a responsible country also. No? So we took over the presidency because the turn came for Belize, and we always are holding it with great responsibility, and we see great opportunity.
I think one of the questions that our viewers might want to know in terms of how this, it's all positive, it's all great. I'm really hoping that there's a lot of good outcome from this week. Yes. But connecting these countries that are slowly starting to develop again a relationship. We've recently becoming a little bit more integrated in Central America. Citizen security amongst these countries, and I know that perhaps it's a more political question to ask, but one of the reasons why backpacking through Europe is such a commonality is because it's safe,
yes.
Right? And for us in Central America, we're still trying to ensure that we have that type of security. How are we tackling that type of theme in this forum?
Okay, that is another very good question, because we know that Central America has at least two positioning. The one is a negative perception that people say things that the Central America is a dangerous place.
Yes.
You know, and another one is that in the foreign markets, for example, part of the Spain, part of the North, part of the U.S., nobody knows about Central America. Nobody can put into the map Nicaragua, Belize. You know, okay.
Yeah.
So what we do is to have one of our hands in we're working is to change that positioning. That if you look at the good, mostly of our destination are very, very safe. The numbers, the stats of the criminals actions in our destination is near to zero. So we are trying to tell that we're trying to talk with our media partners and create another narrative about Central America, because it's about narrative. You saw another destination that they also have dangerous problems, dangerous issues, but they have a very, very good performance in tourism. So what they just is to create another perception, another narrative. So CATA is working pretty hard to change the perception and to position in the region in those sites where the region is unknown. So that is one of the task of the CATA right now, trying to change the perception. We are talking about what is going on right now in the region, what is good is going on right now in the region. New airports, the second bigger coral reef in the world, one of the most beautiful places to dive in the world. So we're trying to change the perception. And after that, in the last part, try to talk about tourism. But the first is to tell what we have in another terms in order to change that perception.
All right.
About that.
I wanted to wrap up in terms of sustainability and making sure, and I really want to stress on this, because we see time and time again that we have all of these big forums, we have all of this big delegation, politicians and so forth that come together and say we are going to do this and it's going to make a difference. We make a big fuss and then it dies down. How do we ensure that it does not die down?
Well, I like the word you mentioned, sustainability. No, and in the past, it was when people talk sustainability, it used to be coined as ecotourism, right? That's first thing that pops up to your mind. But sustainability has three other pillars, no? And so what's important here is that we continue and engage the private sector. I think that's a huge difference. In our tourism markets, we realize that the private sector are the ones that drive the new services and new products. So it is important, one, to continue reaching out to them, tour operators and everything. We actually, when CATA has its events and so on, there are times that even private sector people come and join them and join us so as to be able to promote their services. No? And the new tendency right now that our region is going into is community-based tourism. And why? And I liked it, going to
That's
one
an
of
interesting concept.
yes, going to one of the regions there, and that's what we're doing, for example, in Belize, in the Belizean Traveler Experience, and also the other Central American countries are doing, is that tourism should be not a privilege to foreigners only, but it's supposed to be a right for even locals to be able to visit their destinations.
We were having this conversation earlier, Josue.
Yes.
It's a pity we don't have more time to tap into that, but quite an interesting dialogue here. As we mentioned, there are three parts to the forum taking place. Of course, we're looking at Mundo Maya in its entirety, but also Fedecatur and CATA. Is there any way that we can follow this generally from a viewer's perspective? Will this be live streamed for persons to get involved, or how can we follow up to find out what were the results of the meetings?
Yes. Well, we will show to our press releases, and basically what comes out of these meetings are documents. So living documents in which, like for example, in Mundo Maya, we're soon going to be unveiling at the end of the year the strategic plan.
Yes.
So these are things that take work, and they take consultation, and they take digesting. But in the terms of CATA as well, like I mentioned with the hackathon program that they're doing, this actually then leads to actual operational manuals that can then be used by the industry at large. So it's not just about putting a study, but actually creating operational procedures and best practices and ways of doing things to create these services. And through our Minister of Tourism, he is very serious as it comes to product development, which is needed for us to expand and to further include the greater economy into tourism. And CATA likewise, we're so happy to be a part of CATA. CATA is definitely doing a lot of good things out there. And Boris mentioned it, Belize is like an anchor site.
Yeah,
it's an anchor site, right?
It is.
So, and now with the incorporation of even the Dominican Republic as part of CATA, that's another large market where we can learn from and even exchange visitors.
I think we cannot conclude this conversation without highlighting the connection and even the opportunity that Kata and Fede Qatar and Mundo Maya has with Belize when we connect us to CARICOM as well. And so that has always been, I think, a pivotal part and a pivotal advantage that Belize has had in the tourism market. But as we conclude, we have to highlight by saying that these events aren't just talk shops. They are an opportunity to see real change coming out of it.
Indeed.
But what we can tell you is what does promises to be Sweet Talk is the next segment coming up.
Ooh,
and
nice
that's a Sweet Talk with Fantasy Bakery. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
That's always changing. One thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 oh.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
My name is Carlton Flowers, and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart. And in this store, I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and, or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank Digital Service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st. The comeback begins. KTV, The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
And welcome back. Of course, we're here at the beautiful Placencia village and we are at Playa Villa at Playa de los Cocos for our country tour.
Powered by
Digi. And we have to highlight the beautiful people that make Plasencia what it is. And we are joined by the owner of Fantasy Bakery, and that is Miss Kenema Rowland. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for
having
gracing
me.
us with your beautiful treats and
Thank
tweets.
you.
And it's the cutest thing ever.
I love it.
I love it. But let's talk about Fantasy Bakery before we dive into what we have here on the table. When did you get started, and why did you go into baking?
Well, for me, Fantasy Bakery was more of something that was a hobby that I wanted to do after COVID. So with me and my cousin Shamikwa, we decided after like going into high school, we're like, we need to make some money, like we should do something. And with coming from a background where every one of my family is known for baking and making great tasty foods, we're like, we need to do something different, try stepping out of our zone. And from there on, we decided to just bake and see what other people had liked in the village.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we often hear, Kenema, is the birth of small business during the pandemic. We've oftentimes had entrepreneurs come on our show and say, you know, I started a business during the pandemic, and now all these years later, because we're in 2025 now, so that's almost 5 years of being an entrepreneur. What has the journey been like since the start?
Well, I used to say it has been scary, but at the same time it has been rewarding and exciting at the same time, because I get to not only share my passion with other people, but I also get to give back to my community as well, whereby with all my baked goods, usually I do like small sales where if you wouldn't be able to get it anywhere else, or if you wouldn't be able to get on our sale when we post on the bakery page, you can always come out and get something in your budget, and it doesn't always mean
you really mean it when you say small too, because look at these little dainty tiny cakes here. I always ask about bakery places that would sell something like this in Belize City. Unfortunately, I might not be able to get my hands on it here in Plasencia.
I know.
But let's talk about some of the items that you have on display this morning. We have cinnamon rolls, cookies, cupcakes, and then actual cakes.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about these.
All right, so these are our classical cinnamon rolls. These are one of our top selling. Most everybody usually go for this particular one.
They look really moist and good.
Yes, and these are our chocolate chip cookies and cream cookies. These are one of our another top favorites, and this is our triple chocolate cake. And these are red velvet, and these are cookies and cream cupcakes, and that one over there is an Oreo and cookies and cream as well.
I just really love the presentation.
Why would you, or why did you go the route of preparing cakes this small? You know, when we usually get a birthday cake, it's usually big enough to share with everybody. We say, happy birthday, I want a piece of cake, or happy birthday, give me a slice of cake. But usually this, you're not able to share that so much.
No, well, the bento box cake was something that came out like last year, but I decided to put it on my menu because not a lot of people can do big cakes, and having something personal and that's yours is something rewarding for the people that really need it.
I really appreciate the uniqueness of your business.
Thank you.
I really would like to know how you tapped into a market within Plasencia, because it's very busy. I would imagine there's a lot of tourism happening and so forth. Bakery is a different route though.
Yes.
How do you make sure that you're able to stay relevant and afloat in here in Plasencia?
Well, one of the main things for my business, I not only by staying relevant, I engage with my audience base a lot, and mostly the people that I do serve to are from the village, and also by word of mouth from other people in the village. It goes a long way by saying that other people will tell other people, and then other people will come to me.
So like real village style word of mouth. But like, I am very happy that you are here with us, because something that, well, I don't know, is it something that you allow your customers to decorate their own cake?
Well, not
really.
You can personalize your own cake, but I would still give you references of things that I think you should go and decide to choose from depending on what you want the occasion to be. So basically, if you were doing something small as that little small cake there, and if you're saying you're feeding at least one to two people, I would say you should do something small, something cute, personalize it.
But you have me and Sabrina about to decorate our own cupcakes this morning.
We're
putting
trying to
us,
see if we could be your helper, essentially.
Yeah, because don't hire me.
Where do we start? You brought some of the piping bags. We have some cupcakes here. These are chocolate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how do you go about beginning to decorating something like this?
Okay, so since we all have a piping bag, you would usually cut a piping bag and put your tip inside of the bag. So this would be like this.
Oh, so we add in that?
Yes, because you don't
got
want
it.
your hands to get messy, and then you'll have more control of the piping tip.
Okay.
So I can pass you this, and you just squeeze it a little bit so you have more space to cut the bag. And then just put it in like this. There you go.
All right.
Let me do yours for you.
What's the flavoring of the
This is vanilla.
vanilla?
Yes.
And this is what, buttercream?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where did your piping bag go? Did it blow away?
Oh, it might have. No, here it is. It's under the plate. Oh, no.
No, it did blow away.
Blow away. Okay.
Well, we'll have to share for today.
All right. So let's do that.
Go ahead.
All right. So what you do is set your piping bag in the center of your cupcake.
Okay.
Gently squeeze. Yes.
And then?
Turn. You can turn it any way, any direction that you would like.
Ooh, Sab. Natural.
I'm telling you,
Exactly.
Natural. But it's all on the tip as well, right? The
Yes,
type of
it's which one that you
decoration
decide
you'd
to
like
use.
to take
You
out.
can
I'll
always,
help you. Don't worry.
You can.
Okay,
If
Sab.
you get very busy, just call me, girl.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see if I want to do like maybe
Oh, I love that already. Look at you, not even following it instructions, but it's looking so pretty.
I just like, this looks like a little flower, you know?
It certainly does. That's beautiful.
Yay!
I love it.
Look at that.
Okay, where do we go from here?
You can customize it how you'd like. You could add sprinkles. You could add more sprinkles. It's up to you. Whatever one you'd like.
We want some sprinkles, Sab. What do you
I want it all.
You want to
Go ahead. You
Okay,
can
so I'll
use
go with the
whatever
pink.
one that you'd like that has glitters.
Ooh.
All you have to do is just shake it on the top.
I'll take the green.
This?
Yes.
Oh, it has glitters, and this
There you
is
go.
also glittery.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
See,
I'm
it has like
going
a
with
little
my.
kiss on the top of it
Yeah,
for
it's
you as
pretty.
well.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yes. Can choose whatever pearls, sprinkles.
Yeah, the pearlies.
They're very, very pretty.
They are.
So how can people reach out to you if they would
could,
like to?
Well, they can reach out to us via Facebook or Instagram at Fantasy Bakery.
And I know that you're stationed in Placencia, but do you do deliveries?
Yes, I do. Well, it depends on the item itself because sometimes some of the carriers not are allowing us to send baked goods. But I usually have a partnership with Speedy, and they're able to take it for you wherever you would like them to.
Okay.
outside of Placencia?
Drop off for you. Yes, ma'am.
So I could get an order from you in Belmopan?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's so good.
So awesome. Sister, you can get your mini cakes. Sab.
I don't know if I can get something in Belize City, can I?
Yes.
Okay.
It all depends on the days. Tropic doesn't do on weekends though.
So you need to get that cake from Friday, girl.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we will look into that. Now, again, for persons who would like to reach out to you guys, do you have social media pages?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the handle?
It's at Fantasy Bakery, and also on Instagram it's at Fantasy Bakery Placencia.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for allowing us to decorate our very own cupcakes and, of course, getting some guidance from you on how to do that. April, your cupcake looks very, very pretty.
I think your cupcake looks very pretty too. I think my cupcake looks Christmassy.
It certainly does. I was actually thinking of that, and this is giving Valentine's Day.
It is, absolutely. But you know what, Kanima, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us
for
this
having me
morning
as
and
well.
for sharing your lovely business with us.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
And when we come back, we're going to continue on in our journey of meeting wonderful Placencia people. Have you met these wonderful Placencia
Yes,
people
I have, and I'm
already?
definitely looking forward to this one when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
You pay the bill?
Ma, I got the wallet.
So you could pay the bill now?
Yeah, I can show you.
Ah.
See? Easy.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping straight into our next conversation. And I kind of told you earlier that I was really looking forward to this segment. And it's only because I've met this owner before. This is Matthew Montague. He's the owner of Shady Acres. But there's nothing really shady going on here, I will tell you that. It's just innovation at its finest. Matthew, you are kind of like a sustainable artist.
Yeah, we try to recycle everything, reuse, repurpose. Nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste, and we really mean it when we say that over here. There are so many items made from silverware, as you can see here. These are literally forks, spoons, and knives. And then over this side, we do have some beautiful paintings. We also want to highlight a fabulous anti-itch cream as well. But Matthew, let's start where it began. How did you get into this in the first place?
You know, my wife had a pendant that was an octopus that she'd probably had for 25 years. And as we went to markets and started doing some stuff, my wife started out painting and we were selling the itch cream, and I started out with bottle cap art.
Okay.
And then I moved to wire art, and everybody kept asking her about her pendant, and so I asked if she would mind if I tried it. And I said, I better get a chance.
Yeah.
So she gave me her grandmother's silverware, wedding silverware, and that's where I started.
How old was that?
It was probably 40 or 50 years old at that
Wow.
point. Yeah.
So like almost an antique.
It was all. It is.
Yeah.
Most of this is all antique. You know, I've got
Yeah.
a couple of patterns. My favorite pattern there is called Jubilee. It's from 1953.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's gorgeous.
So I started with that. She's not haunting us yet.
No.
So
the ancestors
I
have been good. We are fine. That means you're doing something
We're
good.
doing it right. It's worked out well, and it's come a long way.
Yes.
It goes for you.
But
So
I love the
since it has
uniqueness.
evolved.
I love the uniqueness of your business because you would not really think to take something as a fork and
Right.
make it,
Right.
you know. But I've seen stuff like that outside of Belize, and so I love that it's here. It has a market and a home of its own. How have customers received this type of new product?
You know, it's been really popular. The rings have been phenomenal. The pendants have sold well. I've started to branch out into art. You know, the other day I saw a guy made the
That
swinging
is
fishing guy,
fantastic,
and I
and I
thought,
love
well,
it.
it's fairly simple, but I'd like to make it an actual piece of art now. So I
Yeah.
put him on a pier with some fish and
You know
and a
what?
hat
It defies the laws of physics, and I absolutely love it.
I understand the physics there. I don't understand the physics.
You know, it's probably there's probably a lot that goes into it, but what I really would like to understand is that it's more than just, you know, taking something different and turning it into something else. It's a very unique art form, and you're clearly talented in multi areas of
The
art.
paintings are my wife's.
Okay.
She is the talented.
So it's really a household of art.
Yeah, we're a combined art studio.
All right. Well, we are going to talk really quickly about some of the items here on display. Then we can take it over to your wife's art. You have some items that you have created over time. We know and love the pendants.
Yes.
There's one
You
you're
have
wearing
wearing
right now
one.
that you even have a
Yeah.
stone on the inside. I actually got one of them when I did my story guide.
Is it sea glass?
And then there's, I believe so, yes, right?
Yes.
Sea glass?
Yeah, this is sea
And then there are rings that you have also been able to make out of forks,
The whole
spoons.
fork head there. Grab one of these one here.
This is so beautiful. The first
at
time
that.
I saw something
So
like
this is a whole fork head
Yes.
wrapped around a piece of glass.
Beautiful. See, but my hands are really tiny. So
Yeah,
then
but
do
he
I
can
have
make
to
it for
come
your-
and,
for the size
and,
of it.
I can make them
and
smaller.
have you size my fingers? Yeah, they fit Sabrina. They would, yeah. But these are
Yeah, those are nice
gorgeous.
big bulky rings, right?
Oh,
there, though.
beautiful. But how would one go about making
Well,
something like
I tell you what.
this?
Today I brought a couple of forks, and we're going to have a chance to bend one. We're going to see if we can. There's a fish on the front here.
Okay.
We're going to pull off. Give you an example of. And
Okay. We're gonna make a fish?
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay, we're gonna try to make a
See if
fish.
we can bend this fish right here. There you go.
Sabrina, have you tried this before?
I did.
Oh,
It's
So
fantastic.
here's your pattern. We're going to look at that. I'll give you each a fork.
So I want to show you guys what we're trying to make.
We're just going to do the first bends and show you how we do the bending.
Okay.
All right. So if you're going to take one of those. One of those. This is the number one tool. An
Okay.
aluminum straw.
Aluminum
So.
Again, sustainable.
All right. So depending
Oh, you
on-
already know what for the man.
So we're going to take this bottom one right here.
Okay. Oh, this middle.
Yeah. The middle one right there, and we're going to bend it all the way back and up like that.
Okay.
It's not as easy
Not
as
as
it
easy
looks.
as it looks.
Guys, it's not as easy as it
And
looks.
we don't have to finish them. I just wanted to give you an idea and an example so you could see.
Matthew, I'm kind of weak.
I don't.
Well-
Yeah, you lift weights.
It's
I know.
It's taken some
I don't have
practice.
strength in my fingers.
It's taken some practice over the years.
So it's kind of not bending it back. It's like bending it to the side.
Yeah.
I have to like use my whole force here, guys. It's not working. Guys, Matthew has strength. It's not working.
I don't know why we thought that we
could do this. Yeah, no.
No one can go about stealing your ideas so easily. I can tell you that, Matthew. Okay.
Okay.
So we're now there.
We are not there.
We are
We
here.
are here. Trying to Sabrina, I really may think you may have come pro
I really
at
thought
this,
so
bro.
too. I was so
Like,
confident.
So it is.
it
Like,
is.
can I put my foot on it?
I was just like trying.
Okay.
All right.
So that's stunning.
All right, so-
That is.
And then you would go about taking off
So
the...
then at that point, then it gets cut. The handle gets cut off. We'll polish it down, cut a mouth into it, solder a little eye in there, and then the rest of the handle becomes a ring.
Yeah, I was going to say nothing goes to waste
No, I use
because
the whole
you
thing.
use this as a pendant
yep.
and then you could use this as a ring.
Yep.
You've also been able to make bracelets out of
use
it
the
too.
bangles.
Oh, wow.
Look at this here. This looks like...
It's like a gecko.
It
Or
is
like,
a gecko. It's a
it is
gecko.
a
Yeah.
gecko.
Well, what is this made from?
This is a knife handle.
This is
silver
a
handle.
knife handle. Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
so cool. And then I'm noticing that you're adding other metals to it
Yeah,
as well.
the
There's some
copper.
copper
I've
and
just
so
started
forth.
working with
Is this
copper
like a cable?
Yeah, it's an old electrical cable. I've just
Wow.
picked up with somebody.
That is gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Look at Miley.
Let's go over to the art pieces that we also see here on display. One of the things you've constantly ensure to highlight, Matthew, is that you're able to really show your innovation with your silverware art, but what really sells is the anti-itch cream and also your wife's paintings and whatnot. Let's talk about that.
The Quit Your Itching has been an amazing product that sort of stemmed from a necessity when we first moved here. Every bug in the jungle bit my wife. And she came up with this cream to help with that, and somebody visited our house one day and said, you know, you should try selling that. And so we did, and now we're in probably close to 30 gift stores from San Pedro to Placentia.
Wow. Just Quit Your Itching. Soothing bug bite. And it smells just divine. It smells like citronella.
Yeah.
Everything in it's 100% natural.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. So how can we get our hands on these?
You know, if you go to our website, Shady Acres BZE, there's a list of vendors all over Belize where it's carried. Where we carry
and that's how I discovered you guys in the first place.
That's how we met. Yeah.
Well, this is a fantastic story, Matthew. I am continuously, just intrigued by the work that you guys do, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
Great.
Fabulous to be with you.
I do have one question for our viewers that don't live in Placencia. Can we order? How do we get our products?
We can ship through various methods here in Belize.
Okay, beautiful. So I just have to order through the website.
Yep, through our website. You can give us a call. You can WhatsApp us.
Beautiful.
Anything like that.
Right.
Matthew, thank
Shady
you so much.
Acres, Belize. Beautiful. We take our final break, but don't go anywhere, because for you guys looking for some fantastic hair products, I know April has been constantly raving and talking about it. You definitely don't want to miss Ikuma, because they'll be joining us after the break.
Whether you're enjoying the outdoors.
Ooh, finally here at the Fort George Hotel and Spa. This is nice.
Or stuck in the office.
How can I help you today?
When it comes to finding the perfect frames and lens for your eyes, what you do makes all the difference. Elevate your eye vision. Choose eyewear that reflects your lifestyle. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Whys of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back, welcome back. We are here on our country tour in Placencia at Playa de Coco. And we have been joined by, I'm so excited. We have been joined by the owner of Ikuma, Miss Jolly Pollard. And she also brought one of her first models, her first clients. You did a lot of experiments on Miss Esther Westby. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us this morning. I think when we think Ikuma, we definitely think seaweed, of course, duh. And we think Placencia, because you've been able to really market your product based on home, and location is extremely important to you. But for those of you at home who might not know, which I don't know who doesn't, but who might not know, what is Ikuma, and what was the sole purpose of utilizing seaweed as its foundational element?
Okay, so you know, this story goes back to swimming. So I, with much intention, I came on the show today in my swimsuit. I'm barefoot. Yes. Because I'm so excited to be doing the show from home base, because I never get this opportunity. So I'm really happy to meet you guys here in Placencia. And so what happened was I was swimming every day, mostly doing open water swimming, challenging myself to swim about a mile, freestyle swimming, and just taught myself. I would go on YouTube, watch these swim videos, and then go back into the water and try and you know, mimic the strokes that I saw. And I noticed that my hair was getting damaged, right? So we have a lot of sun exposure, salt. So when you're swimming, you normally wear a swim cap, but water still gets in the hair. And I love being in the water, and I love feeling the water over my body, because the hair gets in your face. When you're doing your strokes, your hair gets into you, and you know, it blocks your goggles. And so then, and then when I would finish my swim, I would always take off the swim cap and just feel the water through my hair, because I love that feeling. I've never been that person. You know, like hair wasn't, it was something that, it was just happened to be another thing in my life, but it wasn't, you know. And so then, I realized, you know what? We need to take care of this thing. And I couldn't find any products in the village that worked right for me. And I would look at the ingredients, and I noticed, you know, there were a lot of harsh chemicals. And some products, maybe they work for a while, and then you would dry out your hair, and you know, that's how you would know they're not good quality. And so I just started this mission to create something that would work, and I knew what problems I wanted to solve for myself. So I was looking at sun exposure, I was looking at salt water, I was looking at humidity. Like, okay, I want my hair to feel soft, I want it to be moisturized, but I would also like the structure of my hair pattern to stay intact. So let's say we style our hair after a swim in the morning, and maybe later in the evening we have a dinner party to go to. We're going to go to barefoot, and you have, you know, and you just want your hair to look nice. Like, all right, I need to figure out how to make this happen. And it was really fun, because it was just a organic process. I didn't have any benchmark. There was no product out there that I was looking at that I was like, I want to make a product like that. It was just came out of my own head. And I think that if somebody had presented something to me and be like, here, this product, you should make that, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't have been fun.
One of the things I really love about Ikuma is, one, your presence in the public. You've, as April said, marketed this product as something close to your heart, your own personal need, but also your community, using seaweed as one of the central ingredients in this product. Because we are familiar with your brand, I want to talk about some of the updates that has taken place since then. We also have April and we have Esther here. Esther and April have used Ikuma before, and I'm hoping that we're able to maybe do a quick demonstration, maybe with one of the products on April's hair, just to show you guys, our viewers, how effective this product really is.
It is, you know, when Esther first tried a product, it was on set. It was my very first video ad in 2019 when I launched my website in August.
So you weren't sure how it was going to take to her hair type?
I was just so confident they were going to love it. I just knew. I was like, these girls are going to love this product. And I was like, here, I just need you to go spray your hair in the bathroom with some water. This is the cream, this is the gel. And it was her and 3 other sisters of hers. They all have different hair textures, which is what I wanted to show in the ad. And it was incredible because instantly all of their hair looked great. So it was right there. That was one try.
Yeah.
And it was
and
beautiful.
It's better now. Yeah. So we have 2 different curl patterns on 3 different curl patterns on set here with us. We have Esther with tighter, kinkier curls. You have looser wave. Actually, no, your hair is not loose. They're just so defined.
Yeah.
But April has wavier hair.
Yeah.
So would this product work with all curl types?
Yeah. So, you know, right now with when I started this product, I didn't know anything about curl hair products and like all the different hair types and all these
porosity.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Like, we were, you know. And over the years, as I've gone through making this product, I've learned that a really good product, if it's a really good product, you can make it work with different range of textures. There's a lot of marketing out there where we need a specific product for this type of hair and that, and you know, I mean, it's good marketing. It's how we make money, right? But I realized that with Ikuma, it's about the technique. So for different textures, it just require a different technique and a different amount of product. You know, how much water you put in your hair. So these are the things that I have just learned as I've gone along in the past 6 years talking with my customers.
Well, I don't think we've ever had an opportunity to demonstrate using your product on a host before. And we have April here, who has been dying to get her hands
Julie knows I'm a fan.
on one of your products. So could we do a demonstration this morning?
Yeah. And I wanted to, you know, my hair, it took me 15 minutes to style my hair this morning. I shampooed, conditioned, 15 minutes, boom, because I'm going to go swimming after this, right? And I have to wash my hair, and I'll do it again tomorrow. I don't, you know, I'm not there finger coiling, trying to make it. I mean, I could do sometimes.
It's too much. It's a lot of work.
So I'm telling you that because I'll just show you that we're just going to do this in a minute.
It does not take long.
It's not.
All right.
So let me, we can already see she has some definition to her curls, and what we just
you
want to.
washed it this morning, right?
I tried style. I did the spritz.
Did you put any product in your hair?
I use a leave-in conditioner.
Leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll show you, we're just going to smooth the frizz a little bit. So we don't want her hair to be soaking wet. We just want to mist it with a little bit of water.
All right.
This is called a continuous spray mister. I didn't even know these existed.
Because I need this.
I found this on Amazon. You know, I meet a lot of young girls. They're always like ahead of me. They're like, we have that. They're showing me the best thing.
Yeah.
Go on TikTok, and that's when I realized, like, well, okay, they know everything.
So you have several products here.
Yeah.
What are the difference between them?
When I started with Ikuma, I started with 1 scent formulation, and at the time I was really focused on using essential oils that I felt would be right for what I was trying to achieve with the results, not necessarily for a scent. I wanted a good scent, but I also, everything in these products where, look, every ingredient has a purpose. You know, there are no fillers, right? So the first product is made with 3 essential oils: lemongrass, orange, and ylang ylang. So it's a floral citrus scent.
Oh, that
and then
smells so good.
And then I met mothers who were like, you know, I love your product. My kid, it works great in their hair, but they hate lemongrass. Can you do something else? Can you do something fruity? So then I was like, all right, we'll do mango grapefruit. How about that?
And Sabrina loved mango.
And the kids love the mango grapefruit. And then I just, you know, even before I started Ikuma, I was really fascinated with guava leaves and what they do for hair and hair growth and the shine it gives hair. So I was like, I want to do something with guava leaves, and so that's how passion fruit guava came about.
Okay.
So this uses real guava leaf extract. I picked the guava leaves myself in Placencia.
Wow.
So
and these here in the containers, those are what, smaller versions?
So no, they're two different products.
Okay.
So this is my curl nourishment cream. So I call it my anti-breakage and moisturizing cream. So what this does, it really softens the hair. It combines seaweed with different humectants and shea butter, and it just leaves the hair really soft, and then it primes the hair for definition if you want to take that next step and use the gel. But it also gives a little definition, and it also smooths frizz too. So the two products work harmoniously. Yes, they were designed to work together and for optimal results. If you're trying to go for definition and hold, I suggest using both. If you're just somebody who just wants your hair soft, you don't really care about definition, you don't mind a little frizz, you just kind of want to be, then I would just say, just take this.
You also have a serum here.
And I have a serum. So, as I've learned in the curly world, the curly girls, they love a strong cast. So a cast, usually we use synthetic ingredients and gels to create a cast. And what I found is that seaweed creates a natural cast. So we use a natural, I call it the seaweed biocast. So it creates a film around the hair that helps to give it structure and also repel humidity. So as the day goes along, it just naturally breaks with the humidity without disrupting the structure of the hair, and so you're able to control the frizz.
Okay.
And so yeah. So what we're gonna do for her hair, I think that all we need in April's hair right now is just a little bit of the curl nourishment cream, which will just smooth the frizz at the top.
And some of those products are a little lighter and heavier, no?
Sorry?
Some of the products are a little lighter, heavier.
Yeah, so the gel is really light. So for somebody who's trying to elongate their curls a bit, the cream will help to give it just a little bit of weight, and then add the gel afterwards. But what everybody says with all the different textures is that their hair feels so light with these products. It's a very lightweight feel. Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of the cream, and these products contain a lot less water than the products that we find on the shelves. A lot of imported hair products, they use a lot of water. I don't. It's very potent. So you add the water rather than I load a product with water.
And then you don't need a lot.
Exactly. So we're taking like this much. Rub it between the hands first before applying.
I can smell it. It smells so good.
And we're just going to smooth the frizz.
Really, really good.
Yeah. I'm just going to scrunch it a little bit to try and not get to keep the shape of her curls.
A lot of the frizz just immediately left.
Right?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Lovely.
And this product is made with a seaweed called Eucuma Euphumatopsis isoformis.
So that's where the name came from?
Yep. Okay. So when I was brainstorming names, I kept coming back to the scientific name Eucuma, but Japs Lowell Godfrey, who is a pioneer of seaweed farming in this country and started the first farm right here in our Placencia waters. I used to buy from him. He was the first person to sell me my few pounds of seaweed. And so when I would buy from Japs, he would say, Ikuma. I got some Ikuma, I'm going to go harvest some Ikuma. That's how he pronounced it in Creole, Ikuma. So when I would read the name, I would say Ikuma. And I kept coming back to that, and I was like, maybe we can just celebrate the way we call this seaweed in Creole, Ikuma, and spell it phonetically. And so I was like, okay, it sounds like I-K-O-O-M-A, and that's how the name came about. So it's a way we can pay homage to our Creole heritage in the brand.
Well, now there's definitely a beautiful story. I love it. Your hair looks really good, Abe. All done.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we got to buy this one. This one is coming in.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. For persons who would like to get their hands on Ikuma products, how can they do so?
So you can visit ikuma.com. Right now it's just a landing page showing the different stores where you can buy the product. And but the website, we're working on the website, and I really want to thank Beltrade and the BEAT program. I was able to receive a grant of $20,000 this year.
Fantastic. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you, to develop my product for export. And so part of that is developing my website. So we just did a professional shoot with Brata Belize, Kiernan and Rebecca last week. And we have beautiful photos and videos coming out showing how different textures apply to products. And it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited.
I am so excited for you as well, Jolie. And Esther, thank you so much for joining us. We do have to take one final quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
My name is Carlton Flowers, and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart. And in this store, I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and, or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank Digital Service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are wrapping up our second leg of our country tour powered by Digi. And we cannot close off without saying a huge thank you to Villas at Playa de Coco. This morning we are also joined by the owner. We have here with us Dr. Frederick Work. And we have to say a huge thank you for graciously allowing us to stay here. The hospitality has been absolutely wonderful. The view, the space, it has been so breathtaking. Dr. Frederick, talk to us about the initiative to come to Belize and create a beautiful space like this.
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. I'd like to welcome Mundo Maya, BTIA, Channel 5, and all of Belize to Villas at Playa de Coco. My name is Dr. Work. Most people here know me as Mr. Fred. And I'm the owner of the resort. And I'm also proud to be one of only 2 plastic surgeons licensed here in Belize to care for the people of Belize. I came here originally in about 2000, 2004, scuba diving, San Pedro, Ambergris Caye. I didn't come back again for 17 years, which was during peak COVID. I was in search of a beachfront property to build my retirement home. And once I found it, I allowed my imagination to go wild. And I used my creativity as a plastic surgeon and channeled that into the architectural design, construction, and interior styling of every square inch of this property.
Yeah, we've seen the results of your imagination. It's quite stellar indeed. In terms of what you wanted particularly for your customers, your guests to enjoy, what is it that you really wanted from our experience?
Well, I wanted to create something a little bit different here, and I have been successful with creating a luxury, modern boutique hotel. It has a lot of unique amenities, starting with the walk-through waterfall into the reception.
We saw that.
I don't know if we were able to show that, but guys, it's like it automatically shuts off the moment you walk
like a
through
sensor.
it.
It was so awesome.
That's so cool.
Yes.
I like gadgets.
Yes. We've seen.
And then we have, the lighted glass sky bridge that connects the rooftops together. We also have the largest rooftop restaurant and bar in all of Placencia, overlooking the sea with stunning views. And for those that don't want to climb the steps to see the view, we have an elevator.
Fantastic.
In addition to that, particularly the 2 beachfront units, they're 4 bedrooms each, 6,000 square feet. It has a master bedroom and a junior master bedroom suite. Each one is 1,600 square feet, 1,300 square feet respectively. They have an indoor-outdoor shower area, green space, bathtub, and it's a wonderful place to escape for a romantic getaway.
Yeah. And I think that's what we want to emphasize, because the spaces that we've seen so far, it really markets as a luxury getaway for couples. Of course, if you would like to bring your family, there's also larger rooms and suites for that as well. But we definitely feel that it's designed in a way to invite couples for that weekend getaway, or just simply that getaway if you're going on your honeymoon and you want to experience Placencia or all the other amenities that would be available here at the villas. This seems to be that location to do that. Would you say that was the intention?
Absolutely. When I designed it, initially, like I said, it was just going to be my retirement home. And then it expanded. And then when I started thinking about hosting different individuals here, different people come in different party sizes. So each one of our 4-bedroom villas can house anywhere between 8 to 12 adults. We have a 2-bedroom villa over here that can house probably between 4 to 6 adults. And then we have individual studios, and each of these studios can host couples.
Yeah. We stayed there. Well, for persons who would like to reach out, are you available? Do you have a website for persons to reach out and make their bookings?
Yes, we do. Our website, www.villasatplayadecoco.com.
We want to say a big thank you so much for hosting us and accommodating us. I slept really well. Villas at Playa de Coco. We want to ensure that everybody knows that it's right here in the Maya Beach of Placencia Peninsula. Yes, so come on by, book your stay. Thank you so much, Dr. Work, for having us.
Thank you. All right, well, that does it for our show this morning. We have to say a huge, huge thank you to everyone who joined us this morning, and also you guys for tuning in with us. It is June
30th.
And we have a birthday shout out.
We do have a special birthday shout out.
We want to say happy birthday to everyone celebrating a birthday today, but also a special happy birthday to our producer. I wish we could have shown her this morning, but she turns 33 this 30th.
Today.
And there's a special happy birthday going out to her from her Channel 5 family. Happy birthday,
Vianney.
Now, if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions,
There
comments,
she is.
or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com.
You can also catch us on our Facebook Live at Open Your Eyes BZ,
as well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents. That's OIE Belize.
And of course, we have a number that you can call us and text us at 675-2555.
But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. Thank you so much for joining us on the second leg of our country tour, Belize, powered by Digi.
Bye.
Open Your Eyes Country Tour was powered by Digi, our national telecom.